Blessed be everyone. Blessed Samhain and happy Samhain to everyone. Happy Halloween to also everyone. No matter what you celebrate today, we have the lovely Sonia Smith. She looks fabulous today. We are all dressed up. The only thing is that my hat was making me disappear, but here it is. My lovely hat that I have been wearing on and off. I did wear it until it got a little windy, and then I just, I actually took it off because the wind was blowing it off my head. I'm like, nope, that's not going to work. So here we go. We have a lovely little hat there. My thing kept moving around. So, anyway, welcome to a special edition of Black Magic Talk. Like I said, we do have the lovely Sonia Smith with us, and we're going to start off by doing some readings, she said, and then we will go into the seance. I'm very excited. I've never been a part of a seance before, so I'm very excited to see what happens. So, Sonia, take it away. Oh, Sonia, you're muted.
You couldn't hear me, could you? Right. I'm going to start by telling you about the cards that I'm going to use tonight for the readings. What I'm going to use is I'm going to use my Raven Lenormand cards. And the Lenormand cards are, these I did design and I did a guidebook to go with them. But the Lenormand cards are ancient cards. They're not, I didn't design them in the first place. They were done by Madame Lenormand, hence they're called Lenormand cards. They're similar to tarot, but I think actually they're very much easier to read. So I do tarot anyway, but when it comes down to asking specific questions, I find that the Lenormand give you such concise answers, and they're so good to use, so easy to use. And the history of them is that Madame Lenormand was a celebrity reader in her day. She was a celeb because she read cards for aristocracy and such likes, even Napoleon Bonaparte's wife, Josephine. So she was very sought after, and these are the cards that she used always. Hence, they're called the Lenormand cards. They were taken on board after her by the Aroma people, the gypsies. Because the gypsies absolutely found them so easy to use. And of course, when they were traveling and doing their fortune telling, the Lenormand were something that they could just use immediately. They didn't have to learn too much about them like you sometimes do with the tarot, because it's sometimes more complex. So if they're just doing fortune telling, they found them the best cards to use. So and very accurate. So they were using them for themselves for divination, and they were also using it when they were on the road to earn some money. They would, stop and do some fortune telling with the Lenormand cards. So, they do have a history with them, and they are lovely cards. There are many types of Lenormand cards, with different pictures and stuff on. Several people have done different packs, but these are my own cards that I'm going to use, that I designed and did the guidebook, as I just said. So I'll just sort of show you. This is the back of the cards, and that's why they're called the Raven Lenormand, because of course I'm a big Corvid fan, and so I decided to design the cards around ravens, and they have a sort of fairy tale thing about them as well, in a way. I like.
Oh, you're muted again.
I think the spirits are playing tonight.
Ah.
So anyway, that's what they look like. And what I'm going to do, because it's Halloween, I'm going to give both of you a reading. If you've got any specific question that you want to ask, or even if you only want to ask it in your head, you can.
Matt, why don't you go first, since you might have to leave here? So Matt will go first.
Who wants to go first? I'm going to do what's called through the looking glass spread. And I'm just going to show you the guidebook as well, because actually you can teach us. I did it so that people can teach themselves the Lenormand.
That's beautiful. I love the artwork.
Yes, it's got everything in it, so that you can learn the cards and also the combinations of cards and stuff like that. So you've got all the information. Then you can teach yourself Lenormand very easily from the guidebook, and enjoy it. And you don't have to buy the cards if you don't want to. You can use other Lenormand cards with the guidebook. You don't have to have the cards that I designed, but they were designed actually to go obviously with the guidebook, but that doesn't matter. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do through the looking glass spread, because it's Halloween, and it's quite traditional that you look in the looking glass. And I don't know if you know the folklore around looking in the looking glass on Halloween, do you? No. Well, this is literally when you're looking in the mirror, you're supposed to light a candle in a darkened room and look into the mirror at yourself on Halloween night, and you will see, if you don't have a lover at the moment, you will see your lover appear behind you, and you will see who they are and what they look like. And they may not have come into your life yet, but you'll get a glimpse of them. So that's a traditional thing that's been done in England, and probably the British Isles in general, for hundreds of years. So it's quite an old tradition. So you can try it if you feel like it. Okay. So who's ready for a reading then?
Sure, yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah, sure. All right, what I'm going to do then is I'm just shuffling the cards now, Matt, and then I'm going to put them in the order. And the first two are Mirror of Yourself. So it's going to tell you a little bit about, you and what's going to happen. And then the next one would be Mirror of the Home. So what's going on in your home, etc. So anyway, we'll take it one bit at a time so that you don't get confused with what I'm saying. Okay. So Matt, you've got two lovely cards that have come up. One is birds, and the other one is sun. And the sun in the Lenormand is very much like the sun in the tarot. So it means that, you can be successful at what you want to do, because you know what the sun card is like. It's a brilliant card to have, Matt. And it's representing you and what you will come to you. And the birds are, this is, sometimes it can be a little bit of gossip going on, or it may be communication of all sorts. So I don't know if you've been waiting for any communication from something or someone. But when the birds come up, that's what they usually mean. Does that make sense to you, Matt?
He's shaking his head.
He's muted. Everybody Everybody's being muted.
I know. Yeah, sorry. No, it does. It does. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So we have the mirror of the home. And again, you've got two nice cards come up there, because obviously what's very important to you is your son, and the child has come up. So, you know, that's good stuff about around your child as well. And that card represents also playfulness within the home and having fun. And so it's a lovely card to have. So it's sort of like a happiness within the home. And I think that you make that with you and your son playing games together and doing things together and such likes. And the other card that's come up about the home is garden. And when garden comes up, I mean, it's a very pretty card, actually. And when garden comes up, it means to say that within the home, there's more discussion now on nature and stuff like that. So it's again, it's a lovely card to have, and it's about sharing information about nature and studying things around nature, taking more notice of nature, getting outside more, and all those things that are represented by that. And also it's a little bit connected to the gentry, as they're called in Ireland, which are the fairies, of course. So you know, this is getting back to the roots of things. And you know, really the home is somewhere where you're rooted and you're making lots of interesting forays into nature and what nature means, and perhaps teaching your son, because the child is right next to that, teaching your son things around nature, which is really nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that's lovely. Thank you.
All right. So if you've got any wishes, anything you hope for, etc., these two next cards are going to be telling you how successful that's going to be. So if you've got something in your mind that you really want to happen, your hopes and wishes and dreams, then we'll see what comes up for you. Okay. Well, now you've got a more of a difficult card here, actually, because you've got the cross came up. And when the cross appears, that means to say that sometimes there's a little bit of difficulties in achieving what you want to do. It doesn't mean to say that it's never going to happen. It just means that, you know, that it's a struggle. It's a bit of a struggle. And you're not to give up, and you're not to give in and say, oh, you know, this is just too much now. I don't know if I can, you know, carry on, because I really wanted that, or I wanted that to happen, but there seems to be obstacles in the way. And sometimes that can get you down and make you feel that you're not going to get there. But that's okay, because sometimes these things are good, because they teach us lessons and stuff like that. And actually, the next card is good, because what sits next to the cross is the anchor. And that means to say that you will get there eventually. You certainly will get there eventually, but you just got to dig your heels in now, probably put a lot of work in to what you want to achieve, and you will get there in the end. And usually when the anchor appears, it usually means also that you're working from a very stable environment, often from home. And I know that you do writing and stuff, Matt, so that's where you do your work, isn't it, basically, mainly? So you know, just keep plugging on, no problems. So let's see what comes then, because these are the last two cards, and it's the mirror of what comes. So we'll see what comes. Okay. Oh, well. You've got the Tower. You've got the Tower. Now there. When the Tower comes, it's not like the Tower in the tarot. It doesn't kind of blow everything to pieces, luckily. But sometimes, you know, even the Tower and the Tarot, actually the Tower and the Tarot is one of my favorite cards, because I know that I must be stuck somewhere. If that comes up in my reading, I know that, come on, you know, something's got to change here. So, but this Tower is about actually, again, hanging in there, climbing up there, getting to the top. You know, don't give up. And you've got a lovely card next to it, in fact, but this actually represents a mature lady. So this is a mature lady that can help you, and is always there to turn to, and you know, gives good advice, good wise advice, and so you've always got somebody there to turn to if that's what you need in anything that you're doing. And I know that you're sort of on a magical journey yourself as well, so that's also about that. So all in all, Matt, you didn't have any really bad cards, just a few that said hang in there and keep doing what you're doing. But I think that you will do that anyway.
I'm kind of stubborn like that.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, you know, all in all, you didn't have a bad reading. You had, and with the sun being there, you know, in a personal sense, you know, the sun was shining on you. So good things.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Okay, right. We'll see what Steph got next then. I'm going to shuffle these cards again a moment. You know, and we'll see what comes up for Steph. Have you got a question in mind or something like that, Steph?
Yep. I think you already know. I was just thinking, how am I going to word it? Okay, I got it.
Well, let's have a look. What's coming up here? All right, let's have a look then. So we'll do the same thing as we did with Matt, and we'll have the first two cards, which is the mirror of yourself. All right. All right, so the garden has come up again, and that doesn't surprise me, because I know that you follow Wicca, and Wicca is very connected to nature. It's a nature religion, isn't it, really? So that's not surprising. It's intrinsically what you are as well, in the sense that closeness that you've got with nature, and you know, that your belief system and what it means to you. So yeah, it's no wonder the garden came up again then, is it? The next card that came up was a good one as well. Is the key. So it means that you've got the key to get what you want, right? All you have to do is unlock the door.
Just got to find the door.
So, but when the key comes up, it does mean that whatever you're looking for, what you want, you will find. You will find the key to it. So if you've got some ongoing thing that seems to be difficult to find the the right thing to open it up and to achieve it, the key will appear to you so that you can unlock it, and you'll know which way to go and what plan to go with, because you've got the key. You've got the key to the door. Like you say, you better find the door quickly now. All right. Mirror of your home. Oh, lovely. Now that doesn't surprise me again, with you, Steph, because the lady's turned up, and you know, she's sort of like the dark ladies of the goddesses, you know, like Hecate and Morrigan, such like. So I know that you are close to Hecate, and you invoke her in your home probably. So she's saying hello. Hi, Steph.
Hi,
And she's
Hecate.
here. Yeah. So, you know, there she is. She's with you. Oh, this is an interesting one. You've got the ship. Now, when the ship comes up, it means to say sometimes it can mean travel, literally travel, and it doesn't necessarily mean by boat, but it could be train or anything. But I think also on the deeper levels of the ship, we're talking about the achieving of what you want to have. You're finding your way. Your ship is coming in, so to speak. So I think it's been a bit of a journey, and I don't think the journey's quite over. But you're getting there, because if you look, the ship's very near the shore, so it's not too far off. Okay, you want to have a look. See, the ship is not far from the
And
shore.
the imagery is so beautiful. Did you do the artwork yourself?
Yes, I did it. I did it with AI art,
Okay.
and
Say, dang, I can't draw. I can only draw stick figures.
I do some watercolor painting and stuff like that. But when
sweet.
you do something like a deck like that, it would just take so long to do every bit of artwork, and I'm doing so many things, I wouldn't have time to do that. So I played with AI art, and I found it very creative.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, some people think, oh, you know, it's just AI art and you do this and up it comes, but it's not like that. And I don't know if either of you've played with it, but actually it is very creative, because you have to use the right words, and there's a kind of magic to it in itself, because you put something of yourself into the wording,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes you get these. It was, and I'll tell you what was really strange, because I played with AI art, and about, I don't know, 20 pictures came up, and I didn't like any of them. I thought, oh god, no, this is no good. But when I decided to do the Lenormand card, it was just as though I had some kind of guidance, even in there, in the computer somewhere, in the AI art software, whatever, because everyone came out exactly as I wanted,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't have to do loads of them.
You know,
And
when I
I was,
made sorry to interrupt, but I actually created a country song, which I wish had come out when I was listening to country. I listened to more of the 90s country that came out. And there is one song, but it doesn't say Wicca or witch or anything. It just kind of says The Longest Day. It was by Mary Chapin Carpenter. She doesn't really mention like Yule or anything. She just mentions that it's like the longest night or whatever. I mean, at Yule, usually, yeah, that's the longest night. But when I made an AI country song about Wicca, I was amazed at what came out. And I had never worked with AI before. I also created a country song dedicated to Kurt Hennig. And I think that if he heard it, Oh man. And every time I hear it, it makes me cry. I'm just like, I'm like, dang, that's too good.
That really
It's too
is.
good. It's way too
And
good. I'm just like, this is way too good. I mean, I couldn't have come up with that myself, even though I do. I mean, I can sing. I don't have a band, behind me all the time, like do 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 do.
Yeah.
So to let everyone know, the song you will hear at the end of this episode is AI. I just kind of put the words, create a country song about Wicca, and this is what came up, and
I
it's
know,
so
it's
beautiful.
lovely. I love that song at the end.
Yeah. I actually want to learn the words and sing it myself. I'm like, dang, man, where was that in the 90s when I needed it? Because I was very heavily in the country in the 90s.
It's really strange because a friend of mine, a magician, said to me, not a stage magician, but a real magician, and he said to me, "There's a god of the internet, and all you have to do is tune into him, and all sorts of things happen." And of course, I laughed when he first said it. But I found since that he wasn't joking.
I mean, he really wasn't. I have a rock song dedicated to my pro wrestling talk, but I mean, the country was more for the fact that I liked country in my day, of course, in the 90s. So like 90s country. I'm sure if I typed in like 90s country song about Kurt Hennig, it would still be the same, but I think the one I did, and then the one for Wicca again, oh my gosh, blew me out of the water. I was like, man, this is so good. Like, okay, but that's it. That's as far as AI as I go.
Yeah, I mean, I just think AI is fun. It can be fun as well. Okay, let's have a look about your wish. Mirror of your wish. Are you ready for this?
I am.
Oh. You're gonna love this.
Uh-oh.
I'm keeping you in suspense. Oh, who's sending you flowers?
Oh boy. Well, I hope it's who we're thinking of. Possibly. He knows that I like blue roses, but those are not in the wild, so he would probably just have to get me red roses. I said whatever, red roses. Oh, blue tulips is what I want.
I put foxgloves there. They're deadly poisonous digitalis, but you know me. I give a bouquet of foxgloves to people. Right. Okay. So your wish. This is about your wish. So, we've got lovers kissing under the moon.
I think you already know what my wish is.
So I'm not going to say any more about that because you know what that's all about. Don't you, Steph?
And I do love my soulmate. What can I say? He just drives me wild.
Okay. All right. Mirror of what comes. Let's see what you've got. Ooh. Mm-hmm. So what you've got here is clovers come up. So when clover comes up, there's a little bit of luck, and that's what you need.
Yeah. Yep.
4-leaf clover. Now, the other thing that's come up is the tree, which is a really nice one. That's all about stability and family and
Fertility.
you know, yeah, and also don't forget it's connected again to Wicca in the sense that this is an oak tree, So it's like the Oak King.
Mm-hmm.
And the Oak King is also a representation of very strong masculinity. So is there a strong man coming in your life? I want to know.
I couldn't have said it better myself. Could not have said it better myself.
Okay, so I think you had a fun reading there, Steph, and a good reading. You had lots of nice cards there, and I really love the way the lady turned up for you, because
I'm glad Hecate has and she's shown herself to me in a dream where she came and she was walking me to school, something that my mom would never do because
yeah,
my mom and I don't have a good relationship. But but definitely, yeah, like I've seen her, you know, her face, and she just kind of sprawled out on this grass, and she's like, I haven't been alive, and you know, I haven't been this great, you know. I'm like, come on, I gotta go to school. She's like, wait, you know, I haven't been like this for many, many centuries, is what she said in a dream. So I'm very, very lucky to have her in my life, and blessed be to Hecate, as it is the dark moon. So dark moon, blessed Hecate, and I mean, it's been one wild ride. Let's put it that way.
yeah,
Ah,
yeah,
I don't know what to do with
yeah.
my sleeves. They're just so long. I'm like,
She
oh.
she she definitely sends her blessings there when she turns up. If the lady turns up and it connects to certain people that way, she's sending the blessings to you. So
She's been
that's
a
really
big help.
nice. Yeah,
Let's just put it that way. She's been a big help.
yeah. Right. So now it's sort of, we've had some fun, and it's going to be a little bit of change of pace now, because if we're going to do a seance, we've got to wind down a little bit and get in the mood for it. If you've got your things ready, if you haven't, then get them, you know, your pendulum or whatever you're going to use, and then we can sort of get in the right mood, and we need to see if the spirits want to come to us tonight. I'm going to light my candle. I often find my candle does funny things when spirits are here. That's why I always light a candle. I don't know if you've got a candle on hand as well. Either of you, have you? Yeah.
I would, but my smoke alarm is right there, so I'm like, nope."
You can't put a
I
candle.
thought
No.
about incense, but then I was like, no, because what if that sends it off, and that's very sensitive. So
Yeah,
unfortunately,
that's okay, because it doesn't matter if you can't light one, but if you can light one, Matt, I don't know, you said you've got one.
Yeah, I'm
I'm
going.
going to light mine because it always tells where it tells me when the spirits are around, and also there's other things. Now, before we begin, what we'll do in a minute is we'll just get ready to do that. We can't just go into the seance just without doing certain things. So I'm just going to say to you that what you feel, what you smell, if someone touches you, sometimes you get touched. You feel, you know, the spirit will touch you. Sometimes they'll speak and you'll hear them. Sometimes you'll see them. It really depends. Sometimes it's just a sense of a presence. And I don't know if you've done work with spirits before. It doesn't, I don't mean necessarily that you've done a seance, but I mean, if you've worked with spirits before, you know that they can come in many different ways. And you know, you may feel something, or smell something, like I say, hear something. You may have different things like bangs or pop in the room, or if you've got a candle, the flame may go very high or low or go out. All these things may happen. Also, sometimes nothing happens. So we can't force the spirits to contact us. We can only ask. We can't force them to do anything. They'll come through if they want to. What I'm going to do is, once we begin, I'm going to want you to just unmute yourself when we begin properly. And I just want you to tune in and just say if you smell something, feel something, hear something, because it's not just, this is an interactive thing for the three of us tonight. And sometimes spirits will contact who they want to. So they may come through me, but they could come through Steph or Matt, because they make the decisions, not you. So, it's very important that you respect that if they want to do that and they choose someone, that's just the way they are. Okay. So I'm sure that something will happen tonight. So I can feel already something building. So what I'm going to do is light my candle.
Matt, unmute yourself.
Okay. You may get some background from my son.
That's fine.
Plants
I
vs.
can-
Zombies.
That's okay. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter if my son says something in the background. It doesn't matter. In fact, spirits often are very drawn to where children are. They like the energy of children.
Yeah, I remember you saying that once, and I thought it was beautiful.
Yeah, they often do, and I find the same with animals. They often get drawn to animals too.
Is it a bad omen? I just want to ask a quick question. Is it a bad omen if one of your pendulum accidentally breaks?
If one of your pendulums.
Yeah. It fell off. I'm like,
Did it just break then? Did it break then?
I don't know. It's in a bag, and I just usually pick them. I didn't think the bag fell or anything. Ooh, I have to find the part
So
later.
you weren't aware that pendulum was broken?
No, I just picked it out of the bag.
Then you might have
oh no,
spirit.
it's broken.
Sometimes they're mischief, and certain things happen.
Well, that's okay.
I don't know.
I have many more. Trust me. It's just I was like, oh no, this one's broken. I was hoping that's not a bad omen or anything. Oh man.
No, I don't think it's a bad omen. If something like that happens, I really usually put it down to mischief.
I think I know who.
Like when you want to do something, you've got a favorite way of doing it, and then it goes missing and you can't find it anywhere. That sort of thing.
That's
then
me all the time. Things go missing all the time. I'm like, God dang it. Oh man.
Okay. Right. Okay. Let's have a little bit of quiet. Because it's Halloween and we want to contact spirits that have passed, I'm going to ask the Lady Persephone, who is the lady of the fair folk and the lady of the underworld. She's very closely connected to her Katie, of course. And I'm going to ask the lady Persephone if she will open the ways for us. And I want you to now change your breathing. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Really deep breaths. I want you to do this about 10 times now. Feeling your body relaxing with the breaths. And the lady is going to take you over a bridge. And when you go over the bridge, you know you're in a liminal space. I want you to see her in your mind's eye. It doesn't matter how you see her, but you will see her in your own way. And she's opening up the ways for spirit contact. So walk over the bridge. She holds her hand out to you. Take her hand, let her take you into the liminal space. Okay. All right. I'm getting an old man here. He's calling himself something like, it's like Grandpa, but it's not Grandpa.
Happy?
Is it Bampa? Grandpa?
Matt, does that have any significance with you?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's something to do with not saying goodbye to someone. Not being able to say goodbye.
Matt, do you
Does
have
that
a
make
grandfather that you didn't get to say goodbye to?
Yeah. Yeah, he died of cancer, so I didn't see him a lot when he was sick.
Would this be your grandfather?
Bappa, yeah. I always called him Bappa since I was
Okay.
very young.
Okay. I was like, wait, I don't know.
Yeah. Because he's saying that that you still love him and he loves you.
I've got his picture right next to me.
Yeah. There's so much love coming from it for you. And he said he was very worried about you for quite a while. In the past, not now. He said he was worried about you and what was happening, what you were doing in your life. And He said he tried to guide you, but he said you were always wayward. He's laughing. He's laughing his head off because he said you were wayward. But he left that spark in you, but he also seemed to find that difficult because he felt that sometimes it didn't get through to you. He said he's very near you always.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we were really close.
Yeah. I think he seems to be such a kind, such a nice man. He said, he says he wishes he could have looked after you more. But he said that was difficult to be able to do. But I expect that means something to you, Matt, but I don't know what it means to me. But that's what he said. But he said that you mustn't worry that you didn't see him. In fact, he said that he didn't really want anyone to see him because he was very, very unwell towards the end. And
Yeah, he died alone.
he really didn't want that people to see it. But he said, he's all right now. Yeah. Oh, he just keeps on saying how much he loves you. It's so lovely. It's just,
I want to cry now. I so want to cry right now.
He was obviously extremely fond of you, Matt.
Yeah, we were really close.
Yeah. He said he knows you think about him all the time. And that you felt really safe when you were with him. And he said he's so glad that he made you feel safe and happy.
Me too.
And he said, don't worry about anything, Matt. Everything will be okay. I think he always had that attitude. He seemed to be quite positive person. Yeah. He's fading now. He's going now. Oh, thank you. Thank you for coming through. This is lovely.
Yeah, Matt, I really want to cry right now. Oh, gosh. Oh, that really gets to me, too.
Yeah, he took me out for every birthday, always.
Oh.
Mm. It's just, oh, wow. God, the amount of love that I was feeling from him, it was just for you. It's an incredible amount of love.
Yeah, he took me to a lot of movies.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh.
Well, that makes me want to cry. Oh, please don't cry.
Well, yeah, it's emotional sometimes when they come through because they're they're saying sometimes they're saying things that they couldn't say so much easily when they were here. They find it easier when they give the messages because there aren't any barriers, because people get brought up sometimes not to express that kind of emotion. But I often find when they pass over and you get spirit comes through, they don't hold back. They don't hold back with what they feel, and they want people who they love to know that's how they felt, even though sometimes they couldn't express it fully in life. But I think with him, I think he did express it anyway, in the fact that he was always caring. He was always there for you. That's what came through.
Yeah, that he was.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you have a happy memory now. And I hope, Matt, that you'll take this with you. That he did really love you and took care of you. So wonderful and sweet.
Yeah, that was lovely. That was so nice. And I when they come through and they've got that much warmth and love, it's you feel it all inside of you as well.
My heart was racing, and I just felt this, like, as if someone had turned up like really loud music, like thump 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 thump, and you can feel it like in your heart. It's that how much love I felt.
That's funny because he always would play really loud music in his car. That he thought it was so funny to turn the radio up really loud.
Yeah, whenever I would be like around loud music, because my uncle has a band, and they would always play the music really loud, and like it would make your heart like just go dun dun dun. Like you can feel the beat in your in the inside of you. So I'm
well. That reminds me, he played drums too. So
okay. Yeah, the beat. Okay.
Yeah, so you're now picking up, Steph, from something else. This is what happens when you work in a seance. The energy goes round, and you are now picking up some of the stuff from him, even though you may not be hearing him talking to you. I was hearing him speaking, like, this is what happens, and sometimes you do hear them, and they you can hear their voice and they're speaking, but you're picking something else up as well now, Steph. So you're tuning in, right? Because Matt's just realized that you were tuning in, and it's true. So because you felt so much when you came through, you found it emotional what he was saying to Matt. You tuned into him as well, basically.
Sorry.
No.
I gotta say what I
No.
feel, right? I'm somewhat of an empath, yeah. Somewhat.
Because it's good that is happening, because it means that your psychic ability and your desire for mediumship is opening up. Because what you were doing is I was open, and he was coming through. You started feeling it, and then you started picking up. This is what happens if you open up. And you opened up, because what happened is the emotions bypassed your mind, because what you have to realize, you can't do mediumship if you keep thinking, because thought blocks the process. So if something occurs where emotions take over, which it did with you, Steph, because you were getting emotional about what he was saying, and you were feeling it, and then it opened up. It bypassed the mind and opened up.
Matt, if you want to mute, you can. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead, Sonia. Matt, did he ever meet your son?
He did. Yeah, gave him his first lightsaber.
Like, I feel overwhelming I don't know if you do, Sonia, but I feel overwhelming love for both Matt and his son. Kind of like he wishes he could have spent more time with your son. Did he spend as much time as he could before he got sick?
Yeah, but only a few times.
Only a few times. Okay.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like there's the oh my gosh, like I feel like a regret almost. Like why couldn't I be with him more?
Yeah, I'm sure.
And like my heart hurts. Like it aches.
That's right.
And that's why I want to cry right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the energy between my feet is very strong right now.
Awesome. Yeah, like I just feel like my heart aches. Like I want to cry right now because my heart aches.
Feels good to cry. I didn't for a long time. I didn't for a long time, years. Oh, it's such a relief.
I did a few days ago, but I promised someone I wouldn't because they don't like when I cry. But like, yeah, I feel like my heart hurts because he wished for more time with your son.
I'm sure. Yeah. But you got to spend a lot of time with me, and I got to pass that along.
Would he see your son on birthdays, Christmas?
Oh, sure. He always made a point of that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my son was probably 2 or something the last time we saw him, though. So, only a handful of times. But
so he wasn't as close with you as he was with your son.
Yeah, wasn't as close. Well, to my son.
The backwards. Wasn't as close to your son as he is to you. I always say
yeah.
See, that's funny because none of my grandparents got to see my son. None of them. Not even my aunt. My grandmother on my dad's side never got to meet me, let alone my son. So at least he got to, spend some time with your son, even if he saw him for like a handful of times. I mean, that's pretty awesome.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I have some great memories. My son built a pillow fort and played with his lightsaber, his first lightsaber at their house. So
nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's interesting, Steph, about you feeling your heart aches, because that's this is another part of what mediumship sometimes. That's another some unfortunate aspect in some ways, because sometimes you feel what the person went through before they passed. So I'm not just talking about the emotions that they might be feeling, but actual their physical stuff, and that's sometimes difficult to deal with because you can find yourself not being able to breathe properly or something because they've got a lung condition, say, or something like that.
Ooh.
So you have to. This is why I have to make sure that you do some proper training around it, because it can be quite disturbing sometimes, tuning into them, because sometimes they just say it's not because they want to put you through anything. It's sometimes it's because it makes people recognize who it is, because they say that I passed in a car accident or something, and then someone knows who it is. So yeah, it can be, but I can see that you physically pick up on things, Steph. You feel it, don't you? Physically you could feel your heart ached. I mean, it's not just an emotional thing, you just really felt it, didn't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like someone was squeezing my heart.
Yeah,
that's what it felt like someone was physically like taking my heart and going like this. Ooh, that hurt. It didn't hurt, but like I just felt like this overwhelming emotion to cry. Especially because like the feeling of being alone, nobody really wants to die alone, though he thought that was right at the I'm sorry, Matt. He thought it
No, I
was
just
right at the moment, but when he passed, he regretted it immediately because he was kind of like, "Oh, I wish my family is here. I wish they could have, held my." I feel like holding the hand, like he wanted someone to hold his hand as he passed, and he didn't get to feel that. So as soon as he passed, he literally regretted it. And that's why I feel like my heart is like squeezing, like someone is squeezing my heart because he felt such loneliness and regret that he couldn't properly say goodbye. Okay. Like I see like a flash of black. Like before he when he passed, it was like a black. I don't I'm getting the color black for some reason. Like it just flashed in my head. Um I don't know. I mean, black is one of my favorite colors, but I don't think that had anything to do with me. he
Black
like
was
he
the
almost wanted to say, keep your son well. Keep your son well. Has your son been sick?
no,
No.
thankfully.
Okay. I keep hearing keep your son well. I don't know if that's mine or mine hasn't been sick as much. He has been better, much better. He used to get ear infections a lot, but we have medicine, so he takes nasal spray twice a day and then liquid. And since we've been doing that, he really hasn't been getting sick a lot. In fact, he never missed a day of school and got a honors award for it. So I don't know if that was I think that was mine. Excuse me. Yeah, I just heard like keep your son well.
I keep getting it's a lady, and she passed quite early in life. When I say that, I don't mean teenager, but not old. She wasn't an aged person that went over. She was a person that died before her time, and she keeps on about her son, and she said something about her son won't ever talk about it because he didn't forgive her in a way for leaving, but she died, so that's how she left. She didn't leave, but she died, and he finds it very hard to cope with it, and it's affected him for the rest of his life. Is that making any sense to anybody?
My grandmother died when my dad was 12, and I never got to meet her. But he
Okay.
always tells me that if she had met me, she would definitely have spoiled me rotten, is what he always says. He doesn't really like to talk about grandma because she died of cancer when he was 12.
Okay. Yeah. Because she's very upset because she feels that she let him down by dying, but there's nothing she could do about it.
No. I think my dad blamed himself and has seen things that normally people don't want to see. Um, but no, he doesn't. In fact, I asked for a picture for her so I could talk to her. He's yet to give me one because I sort of wanted to do something for him. But I was afraid, also kind of afraid that he would like just say, I don't want to hear it, Steph. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that's what she's been saying, that he still really hasn't come to terms with it, and she's upset, worried about it, worried about him, that he hasn't ever come to terms with that.
I mean, yes and no. He used to be in the military, and he was very angry when he came out of the military. He would have flashbacks, and he would always tell people if you were laying in bed with him not to move because he would have flashbacks, and if if you did, he would punch you in the face. I mean, not he wouldn't try it on purpose, but he would tell everyone, please don't move if I'm in the bed shaking. So I think him losing his mom got him into the military, which I don't know if that was right for my dad, because my dad has seen a lot that people shouldn't see.
Yeah, that she that's what she's upset about, that it affected his life so much.
But he had a
To know
daughter, and
she
he
loved
had a
him.
granddaughter or grandson
Yeah,
who would, if she were alive today, she would have spoiled us, but we would have loved her
yeah,
very
she
much.
does. But she loves you and your son, and she loves her son, but she's just so upset that she had to leave. She couldn't do anything about it
Because of her husband.
She um,
Her husband wasn't very nice. My grandfather apparently would beat her, but he also would beat his girls. Like, my dad has 7 sisters, and he wasn't very nice to the sisters. He would abuse them
mhm.
physically, sometimes mentally.
Yeah, yeah. She's saying that's why she got ill. Really, there's just too much going on.
Yeah. And most of her daughters are now deceased. My dad only has 2 living sisters, my Aunt B and my Aunt Wanda. And I don't know about, and I hope they're not going to go into the spiritual world anytime soon. That is one of the people that I have not yet to talk to. So I'm not surprised she came through. But Grandma, if you can hear me, I love you too. And know that, your granddaughter is well taken care of. She found her soulmate. She's working towards a life with that person. And she has a great son who just turned 8 on Sunday. And I'm working towards, making something of myself. Also, I wondered if my grandmother saw the abuse that my mother put towards me, which is something I've always wondered.
Yeah, she said there's been too much abuse.
Yeah,
all around. Too much damage, generational damage. And she says she knows you love your son, but she wants you to make sure that that never gets passed on. It's got to
right.
stop, she said. It's got to
Stops with
stop.
me. Yep.
Yeah.
That's what I told my dad. I said, I understand that, all this abuse went on and stuff, and, you guys have your own way of raising kids, but this stops with me. I'm not going to treat my son like my mom treated me. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, she's very firm about this and saying that it's got to stop. And she said that no abuse must be done now, and that even shouting or losing it is abuse, is what she's saying. Don't do it. Do not do it, because it's damaging. All of it's damaging. She wants it all to stop. She wants to find some peace. She's not unhappy where she is, but she wants peace to know that it's stopping.
That's why I try not to raise my voice. My son, I can talk sternly to my son, but I am trying to, because I was always yelled at and I know how it affected me. I always would cry. My mom would make me cry every other day because she would yell at me. And I want to stop that with him. I mean, I do get upset with him if he does something that's not correct, but I'm working hard, Grandma, to really quell what I went through. And I think my soulmate knows exactly what I've gone through as well. So it's like he doesn't even want a relationship with my mother. You know, when we have kids of our own, that he doesn't even want them to have a relationship with her because he's afraid that they'll get abused just like I was.
Yeah.
But I also think there's a red line. Blessed be everyone. Hello. I just want to let everyone know that the outro music is AI generated. Thank you for subscribing to my channel. And also, if you would like to generate your own AI, the link in the description field will be for their website. Blessed be everyone.
In the woods where the whispers run deep, underneath the moon, where secrets we keep, she dances in the shadow with the silver tide. Candles flicker soft, guiding light as a guide. Her altar's filled with herbs and old charms, lost in ancient spells, safe in her arms. Stars weave a tapestry across the black sky. With a chalice raised high, she lets out a sigh. With her sacred circle drawn tight, calling to the spirits in the quiet of the night. Her magic's in the earth, the wind and the seas. She whispers ancient words, swaying like the trees. In a grove of oaks, where the world stands still, she gathers her strength with every Sabbath thrill. The moon's tender gaze, casting shadows cold, the stories of her craft in the twilight retold. The broom by her doorstep, sweeping away all the dark shadows of yesterday. With the cauldron bubbling, herbs to the air, every spell she casts is a heartfelt prayer. With her sacred circle drawn tight, calling to the spirits in the quiet of the night.